But we start with the big breaking news this morning. And just 19 days after being sacked by Fenerbahce, the special one, Jose Mourinho, looks set for a return to management with Benfica. We can cross live to Gary Cottrell now. Gary, I mean, I've no idea where you are, but more importantly, tell us how close this deal is.
Well, hey, let me explain to you where we are. We're here, obviously, because it's Champions League night. It's Bayern Munich for me versus Chelsea. The Allianz Arena is about 10 minutes away from here. So our bookings people, of course, very logically stick us in a hotel which is near to the football stadium. This is actually a hotel at Motor World, which is a big display of prestige and blue chip cars here in Munich. And where better to talk about a prestige and blue chip manager who it seems will soon be back in the prestige blue chip football competition of the Champions League. Now, I'm being urged to be a little bit cautious because although talks are taking place, it's not a done deal yet, but certainly talks are taking place between Benfica and Jose Mourinho and Jose Mourinho's representatives for him to return to the club that he left 25 years ago, his first ever job in management. Didn't last too long. There was presidential elections. The new president who was coming in wanted to bring in somebody else back then. And I think that's a little bit behind the thinking this time because there's presidential elections due again at Benfica with the new president already putting out the name there of Jose Mourinho and the current president obviously wanting to maybe not have a march stolen on him. So Bruno Lage was sacked overnight after defeating the Champions League against Karabag. A little bit harsh because they've only lost 2 games in all competitions this season and is now trying to get Jose Mourinho to take the job at Benfica. So it's come full circle in terms of his 25-year managerial history. And it's come full circle as well, actually, in the last few days, because 20 days ago, Jose Mourinho was sacked by Fenerbahce after he criticised the board for not bringing in the players he wanted ahead of a Champions League playoff game against Benfica. Over 2 legs, they lost that narrowly 1-0, which meant they went into the Europa League and not the Champions League. So now it seems that Jose Mourinho may, after all, be in the Champions League with the team that knocked him out of the Champions League this season, if you see what I mean, Benfica.
What about this potentially special reunion on the cards, Gary, for him?
Yeah, well, it's Chelsea for me tonight against Bayern Munich. Probably the pick of the ties in this match day 1 for Chelsea. And then their next game in the Champions League is at Stamford Bridge against Benfica. So will that be Jose Mourinho returning to Stamford Bridge with Benfica in the Champions League? And if that's not enough, in December, Benfica are due to go to Newcastle, another club close to Jose Mourinho's heart. Obviously, it was there where Sir Bobby Robson became such a favourite, a former boss of Jose Mourinho. He was his coach for quite some time, wasn't he? In fact, Jose Mourinho almost went to Newcastle with Sir Bobby Robson because Sir Bobby Robson asked him to go to Newcastle when he first joined, but at that point Jose Mourinho was the manager of Benfica. So yeah, potentially Chelsea for Jose Mourinho, potentially Newcastle for Jose Mourinho, and also ahead for Benfica in the Champions League, Napoli and his old rival Antonio Conte.
Gary, thank you very much.